Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another weekly ramble. I am your host Scuba Steve, and if you're wondering why I've not been on video for the last few weeks, it's because I've been on vacation in Orlando for 2 weeks with my girlfriend and her parents. We had a brilliant time. We primarily went for Disneyland because the girlfriend is a Disney fanatic. So we went for her as celebration for her graduating university. It was a brilliant time, and I would love to go back in a few years. With that out of the road, let's get into some news. First things first, FouseyTube hosting a concert, and he's titled it Hate Dies, Love Arrives, and it was in the Greek Theatre on July 15th, and it was shut down due to a bomb threat. A lot of people were wanting to go to this concert because apparently FouseyTube was using Drake for promotional purposes. He was saying that Drake was going to be there. He was putting up posters and pictures on social media with Drake's face, July 15th on the bottom. And Drake didn't show. Drake was in New York at this time. And a lot of people are saying that this failed. Now FouseyTube, he's been, I don't want to say crazy, I don't want to say manic. He's been a little off the rails, and he does need to sort himself out. He does need to sort himself out something awful and something soon, because I'm not a FouseyTube fan. I don't watch his videos. I barely know the person as a online personality or as a YouTuber. He does pranks, like fake prank videos and vlogging, that's all I know. But what I do know is that this guy has a massive following. Fousey has a massive following, and these followers, they do care for him. They do care for him, and they want to see him in the best health. So Fousey, before you go and try and fix the world, fix yourself first, please, for the sake of your fans, your friends and your family. In other news, what the hell happened with KSI and Logan Paul at the UK press conference that was being held in the York Hall in Bethnal Green in London across the most recent weekend, which is actually just like a week ago? Oh my god, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? Hell, it wasn't even the weekend, it was midweek. So the conference starts 5 PM British summer time. The undercards are boxers. They are amateur to semi-pro boxers. That's fine, I've got no problem with that. There's also a couple of YouTuber undercards in there as well. Michael from Raka Raka versus Scarce for one undercard. That's absolutely brilliant. Joe Weller wants to go up against someone else for another undercard. That'll be quite a fight. And then the last two pairs of fighters to come on. The first pair, Deji, Comedy Shorts Gamer, and Jake Paul. Now this is where things start getting. This is where things start heating up big time. Okay, because Jake comes out to a crowd of 1,000 people just booing him, and he just comes out yelling, "Yell if Deji's a bitch! Boo if Deji's a bitch! I thought you were on Deji's team, why are you booing him? Why are you being a bitch to him?" Deji comes on and the crowd just roars in approval because it's the UK. We are far more brutal over here in the UK than what Americans are. Here in Britain, we Brits are far more brutal and far more insulting than what Americans are. That started to be shown very proudly, very promptly during the conference between Jake and Deji. Deji flipped the tables on Jake in the US press conference that they had for the fights, which is happening August 25th, pay-per-view event. I'll get to that in a moment. Deji kept screaming Walmart over and over again because he just didn't want Deji to have a platform to speak on when he was in LA at that conference. Deji turned the tables. Every time Jake went to open his mouth, what did Deji do? Boring! Yep, and the crowd joined in, and the crowd was always in Deji's favour. Jake actually held his own. He didn't do too bad. I feel that he held his own pretty well. Now, he gets insulted a ton by the crowd just chanting him suck your mum, over and over again. Fuck Jake Paul, fuck Jake Paul. And he leaves the stage to chants from Deji and the crowd, specifically, leave the stage, leave the stage. At which point, when he does, Deji just goes off on one and he's like, yes, yes! Like he's just won the lottery 3 times in a row. So he leaves the stage. True Geordie is hosting the event and he's trying to keep it all professional, and he's not having it at all because things are being thrown on stage. It's just being so unprofessional. He's just trying so hard to keep it together and he's failing so badly at it. So I do sympathise for True Geordie here. He goes to bring out JJ, KSI. He doesn't show up, so he's like, okay, let's flip the tables. Next to the stage, the challenger, Logan Paul. Unanimous booing. Oh my god. And I'm sitting there. It was not live streamed. I was watching Periscope stream from one of the members of the crowd, and yes, the video quality wasn't the best. It was about as good as a potato. Looking at this stream, and I'm just hearing unanimous booing from the moment Logan Paul's name is said, and oh my god, his face was bright red. It's like he's not slept in days. To be sitting at a table on stage in front of a crowd of 1,000 people who unanimously hate the guts out of you. They unanimously just want to all get up on stage and tear you a new asshole all at the same time. Geordie then screams, and now, the reigning champion of the world, KSI! And JJ walks out with a bright blonde wig, the same wig he used during the LA conference, and does the Fortnite, like one of the Fortnite victory dances, and he's just, the crowd is unanimously just at JJ's side, and the crowd is just loving it. The crowd just loves being Brits against Americans. The crowd just love seeing JJ just walk on stage, and JJ looks incredibly comfortable on stage. He does. He looks like he belongs on stage. So he picks up the mic and he turns to Logan and he's like, welcome to London, motherfucker! And the entire crowd roars. JJ goes on to explain that Walmart crap won't work here, boy, because it's the UK. We don't have Walmart. So he then takes a dig at Logan Paul's girlfriend at the current moment, which is actress Chloe Bennett. You'll recognise the name if you've ever watched the TV show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a good show. I've been meaning to actually catch up on it an awful lot. I've missed out on all the seasons, essentially. So he takes a dig at Chloe Bennett. I'm not going to go through every single thing that JJ says. I'll paraphrase because I don't have the highlights in front of me right now. But essentially he takes a dig at Chloe Bennett by talking about Logan's interview that he had with Jimmy Fallon, where Logan admitted he only has 85% of his testicles. JJ comes on and says, why haven't you introduced us yet? I mean, you only got 85% of your testicle. Let me show her what it's like to be with a real man and give her the extra 15. I'm sitting there and I'm like, JJ, you don't go for the girlfriend. That's low. That's a low blow. You don't go for the girlfriend. He then takes a dig at Logan via Baywatch film, the new film with Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron. He goes on to say, you've been taking L's for ages. How are you going to audition for Baywatch and get the part but still not make the final movie when my song is in the final movie and you were just stuck in deleted scenes? And it's like, JJ, cool it, man. Please, let them speak. Let the guy speak, please. Otherwise he is going to just do what he did at the end of his roasting session. So then JJ then turns to Logan and Jake's dad, Greg Paul, who is side stage, hidden behind the curtain at Logan's side, and is like, dude, you said you would beat me in the ring. You said you'd beat me in a fight with one hand behind your back. You wouldn't do shit. You're an old man. But I'm sure you wouldn't mind going around with all the little girls you like kissing. Take a dig at the video where Jake had his dad with him to find out who was the better kisser between the two of them. So it ended up with like Jake kissing teenagers and then Greg kissing the same girls. Teenagers. Really, it's cringy beyond belief. It is so cringe. It is so cringe. You get JJ constantly chanting, fuck the Pauls, fuck the Pauls. It gets to the point where Geordie is really just wanting to get to the questions. Like, he wants to get control back. So he's like, oh, let's do some questions now. And Logan was going to say something, and then JJ just screams in with chants of "fuck you, Logan," and the entire crowd unanimously just jumps in. Every single person in the crowd, all 1,000 members of that crowd, just go with the chant and go with it. It gets to the point where at the 4th time it gets chanted, the crowd is actually silent when JJ's actually saying it. The crowd actually just goes silent when JJ says it, and then the crowd unanimously just roar together, all together, when it's their turn to say it. And at that point, Logan's like, you know what, I would love to answer some questions, but I think KSI has this covered. London, I'm out. I'll see you all August 25th. He drops the mic and he walks off stage. His face is red. He looks shaken. He looks like he's just seen a ghost. It's absolutely outstanding. I've never seen Logan Paul this frightened, this scared. It's a mixture of emotions for him. He's frightened, he's scared, he's irritated, he is super pissed off that he never got the chance to speak properly, because every time he would go to speak, JJ would just cut him off by saying, nah, shut the fuck up. This is my town, this is my city, this is my country, shut the fuck up. It's not your place to speak. I am really looking forward to the fight on August 25th. And if I am going to put money on this fight, it will be going on JJ. I'm going with the guy who's playing home team. I will be going with KSI if I do put money on this fight. And I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's a pay-per-view event because, as JJ explains on Twitter, I will link that below, as well as a link to the pay-per-view and the full conference. It's Manchester Arena. This event is bigger than what was held in February for the Joe Weller fight. It's being held in a bigger arena. There's a lot more promotion needs doing. There's a lot more maintenance and behind the curtains things that need to be paid for in order to ensure that this goes as smoothly as the Weller fight, considering the venue and the sheer size of it, the sheer size of the project, the sheer scope of it. That's why it's a pay-per-view and it's not free to watch like the Weller fight was. I think I'm actually caught up. Not much else has happened on YouTube, and I'm not really want to go into world topics about what went on in the world news whilst I was on vacation. I was really keeping up to date with what was happening on YouTube, but nothing really did happen until I got back, at which point I just wanted to spend the week getting back into the rota of going to work, working, coming home, and then deep cleaning this room. As I said, when it's in a better state than what it is currently, I will start using my microphone again. But until then, it's going to be just impromptu, flip on my phone and use the audio recorded by the microphones in there. Don't think I've got anything else to say. I hope I can get this out promptly, if it does. If you like the video, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you know when I upload, and leave a comment if you're wanting to have a talk or something, leave ideas and such, and I hope I see you all in the next video. Until next time, peace!